This is Mary-Kate and Ashley Licensed to Drive, the final game ever released in the Mary-Kate and Ashley game franchise, just 3 years after it began. And in those 3 years, how many of these games do you think were released? 2? 3? Well, if you guessed 5, you'd be wrong. There were 9. 9 Mary-Kate and Ashley games were released over 3 years. That means we almost got as many Mary-Kate and Ashley games as we did Nintendogs. I mean, just let that Olsen. As someone who didn't know that the Olsen twins and Mary-Kate and Ashley were the same 3 people, the fact that they got 9 games just blew me away. And learning this sparked this deep-rooted curiosity in me where I had to know more. And the more I researched and learned about this insane game franchise, the more I couldn't look away. This feels like a piece of 90s or early 2000s nostalgia that I completely missed, but I know for a lot of people out there is probably a massive part of their childhood, and I kind of want to know what that was like. Like, what would tie-in cash grab video games based around child TV actors actually look like? What would the games be about? I mean, who made these? Was there even a slither of a chance that maybe one of them could be good? And why, after 9 games, did they simply stop? Well, there was only one way I was going to find out, because I'm going to go through and play every single Mary-Kate and Ashley video game released. But before we do that, it's context time! Being born during the MKA peak, the Olsen twins seem to occupy this space in my mind that's full of celebrity names that I know, but I don't know who they are, like Jimmy Buffett or Jennifer Love Hewitt. And because of that, I thought it'd be good to just give a quick summary of who MKA actually are. Yes, I'm calling them MKA now. Saying 3 first names is ridiculous. Who does that? Mary-Kate and Ashley were child actors who got their big break on the hit sitcom Full House, when they made their debut on the small screen at the age of 9 months old. They were 9 months old. Due to labor laws, child actors could only work a certain amount of hours on set. So the producers of Full House got around this by hiring identical twins, the Olsen twins, to play one character, Michelle Tanner. By the mid-90s, the girls were a sensation. America loved those little rascals. And by the time they were 13, the girls had built their own media empire. There were Olsen twins movies, VHS series, albums, books, magazines, audiobooks. It seemed like the only thing they were missing was a video game. The New Adventures of Mary-Kate and Ashley, released 1999 for the Game Boy Color. Sorry, Licensed to Drive was the only one I could actually buy here in New Zealand, so you're just gonna have to pretend. New Adventures was actually based on a VHS series of musical mysteries that the twins released in 1994, which is 5 years before this game came out, so I'm not really sure what they were capitalizing on. The story follows the twins, who run their own detective agency that claims to solve any crime by dinner time, and they do that by jumping, flicking a switch, and collecting puzzle pieces. You know, everything great detectives are known for. There's 3 characters you can play as in-game: Mary, Kate, and Ashley. Oh, it's Mary-Kate and Ashley. And their dog, Clue, who, if you don't know your Olsen lore, is actually the dog from the TV show. I mean, come on. Did you even do your homework before this? Each character has their own ability. Mary-Kate can jump really high and be used as trampolines. Clue can swim, and Ashley can flick the switches, and I'm not kidding, this is my favorite ability: pick Clue up and throw him as a weapon. The animations for this are so aggressive as well. Like, why is she a detective? The Cubs need a new pitcher. I was a little confused about this mechanic. I mean, I never saw Sherlock Holmes pick up Watson and use him as a weapon, so I kind of wanted to know where it came from. And nothing can prepare you for the mini rabbit hole we're about to go down to find this information, because I'm about to introduce the second character in our story, the other piece of the puzzle. Because all of this began with a little game company known as Acclaim Entertainment. Acclaim Entertainment were like the video game tie-in guys of the time, working with 90s juggernauts of pop culture like The Simpsons, RoboCop 3, and George Foreman, The Man and the Grill. And because of this reputation, Acclaim were tasked with creating the first ever video game for Hollywood's biggest child stars, South Park. Development soon began on a mature rated N64 South Park game. And what does this have to do with MK8? Well, we're getting there, okay? We're getting there. Back in the ancient times, it was very common for video game companies to release 2 different versions of games across different platforms under the same title. Usually this was done to maximize profits for IP cash grab games. That's no slate to cash grabs, by the way. Cars for the PlayStation 2? Cinema. For example, if you played Battle for Bikini Bottom on the PlayStation 2 or GameCube, it probably looks something like this. But if you played it on PC, well, it probably looked like this. Acclaim decided to go down this route for the South Park game and developed a separate platformer version for the Game Boy Color. You know, a console marketed towards children. The rumor is that the South Park creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker heard about this and shut down shipments hours before the game was meant to go out because, and once again, they didn't want a South Park game to be marketed towards children. Acclaim Entertainment, still wanting to make some money back on this, reskinned the entire game and released it in Germany under the name Maya the Bee, based off a very popular German cartoon at the time. But for the American market, Maya the Bee didn't have quite the same je ne sais quoi. It was time to bring out the big guns, bring out names that Americans couldn't ignore. That's right, they reskinned the South Park game into Mary Kate and Ashley. So the original dog throwing mechanic was you picking up Cartman like a football and throwing him at enemies. Oh my god, Matt and Trey, this is unforgivable. How did we not get this game? The main gameplay for New Adventures is you platform around these very drab looking levels to flick switches that unlocks a puzzle piece that you then collect. Once you have all the puzzle pieces collected, that's it. You've figured out the mystery and you can just see the fun I'm having in my face. I spent some time completing a circus level where the twins have been tasked with finding a strange noise. I mean, it's a circus. I would hope there are strange noises. I think a circus without any strange noises would be kind of terrifying. After completing all the levels and finding all the puzzle pieces, it's revealed the strange noise was this orangutan. Yeah, this game wasn't very fun, but I did really enjoy throwing the dog and watching it bounce around like a rubber ball. So this game's gonna get a Mary out of a Mary Kate and Ashley, because apparently we're doing ratings now. Released in the year 2000 for the Game Boy Color, Get a Clue follows Mary Kate and Ashley as they run their own detective agency and must solve mysteries with the help of their best friend and sidekick Clue. Do you get where I'm going with this? Do you get it? It's the same game. They reskinned a reskin of a reskin. At some point, it just gets a bit greedy, you know? Like, did New Adventures sell so badly that the Acclaim execs were like, is anyone really gonna notice? Still, when playing this, it's obvious that it wasn't as rushed as the first one. They put way more effort into Get a Clue. The cases in this game were way more interesting as well. Like, there's one where you have to go to the museum to find out why a mummy has come to life, and another one where you have to see if a ghost is stealing popsicle sticks. Like, you know, that's fun. It's whimsical. It's imaginative. The level designs and enemies actually fit each case as well, which I know sounds like the bare minimum, but it does liven up the game a lot. It makes it feel far more like a kid's show. The art looks way more polished as well, except for this one piece where the twins look like the children of the corn trying to suck my soul into the digital world. This is definitely what New Adventures should have been, and I would found this somewhat enjoyable. If I was a little girl in 1999, I would probably enjoy this game. It was simple enough for a child to figure out, but hard enough where even as an adult, I failed a couple of times. I'm gonna give Get a Clue a Mary Kate and out of a Mary Kate and Ashley. Yeah, I'm really winging this rating system. Soon after their first releases, Acclaim looked to broaden their horizons, moving away from the handheld market into that giant dusty plastic box in the corner of the living room, the family computer. With the release of Mary-Kate and Ashley, Dance Party of the Century.
Let's get totally retro.
Okay, I'm gonna be frank with you guys. I might have lied in the title. Turns out it's a lot harder to download a CD-ROM than I thought, and I'm just too pretty to understand how computers work. But technically, I can still play the game, because I wouldn't really call Dance Party of the Century a video game. It's more like a digital activity book. It's one of those old PC games that used to run on QuickTime Video Player and doesn't really have much of a goal other than, you know, give your child something to do for a few hours so mummy can go rest her head and take her pills. And because the game runs through QuickTime, the main activities are just videos, so I can just watch the videos. So thank you to Everything Is in Fashion for the footage I use here. Please don't strike me, I would really appreciate it. Dance Party of the Century comes with 6 different activities, with the main one being dance class, where the Olsen twins teach you the most popular swings from throughout the decades. Of course, to properly test this game, I had to learn one of these dances, but by God, I wasn't gonna do it alone. So I had to bring in my own twin, Limbo.
Hey.
Well, do you want to see the dance?
Yeah. Oh my fucking god.
Oh my god, they're doing heel kicks! That's fucked, right? That's hard. I told you. Did you do theatre?
Yeah.
Did you do musical theatre?
Nah, not really musical theatre. I did lots of dancing though in high school though. But I wouldn't call myself a dancer though.
Wait, so I think it was. I can't do the first step. I can do like that,
and then it's back.
Yeah, but how do you do the step?
1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes back again. Oh yeah. Dude, you're like the most quirked up white boy I know
I'm
right
so
now.
quirked up right now, dude. People were doing this on opium back in the 20s.
Well, this is the OG TikTok dance. It's just this first bit we have to.
I think I can, but they like kick it back as they're doing it. Do we have to do the hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to get it. Swing. And then just that.
Okay, let's try full motion. All right, here we go.
I forgot. Oh shit, you're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
I can't think about my legs and my arms at the same time.
Dude, fuck. This is really embarrassing. This is not.
It's alright. At least
when gamers try to do physical exercise. Yeah, hit it with the Can you imagine the first dude to come to a party and he just starts hitting that shit on the dance floor? I think I just did something. Did I just hit
the Charleston?
Holy shit, did I just make the song of the summer?
Who's in the blue is hitting that shit way harder.
That's Mary Kate. Ashley's the one with the dead eyes. Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8!
I think we should try another one.
Okay.
I think it's worth we try something else. Here's a 90s one. Wait.
Oh shit! Oh, she got in shape.
Wait, this part's easy. Step. Okay.
Oh shit! Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's 4 of those.
That coming to the club. Oh.
Oh shit.
Real quick. She's still going. Let's just do it without following the video. So we go
2, 3, 4, and then this is an 8. So it's 1, 2. Fuck, I fell over. It's like inside. It's like and then look to the crowd. I think they can. Oh my god, we could be New Zealand's first K-pop boy band. Are we looking at New Zealand's first K-pop boy band? Let's turn this up. We gotta hear this.
Yeah, we need this crazy jungle beats.
Junglebeats.com. 3. Wait, we might have just hit. I think that was it, dude. I actually think we just hit that shit. Wait, I think we hit that. I think, dude, I would count that. We counted that, dude. The other 5 activities are more just kind of appetizers to the main course. There's Name That Dance, which is kind of like a Simon Says, where you have to guess which dance is being lit up by the steps. This one seems really hard. I couldn't figure this out. Scrambled Errors has a bunch of shit flying around the screen, and you have to click on the correct items that line up with the decade that it gives you at the bottom of the screen. Danceable Tune is a trivia game where you have to guess which Olsen Twin song is playing from its lyrics, and which VHS tape it features in. And of course, there's Dress to Dance, which has you mixing and matching a bunch of different outfits from across the decades to... Let's Have a Dance Party might be my favorite part of the game though. This section lets you plan your very own in real life themed dance party, offering printable invitation cards, a scrapbook for photos, decoration, and the best part, a full menu of recipes of our childhood favorite meals. I mean, who could forget going to kids' parties and being served up a gangster melt, or a hippie quiche, or even psychedelic jellies. I'm sorry, who is this game for? I actually decided to try out one of these recipes and made my very own gangster melt, and you know what? It was pretty gangster. To me, there's something eerily nostalgic about Dance Party this century, even though I've never played it before. The bright colors, the default font in front of the clip art, the obscenely loud special effects that play at random sometimes. It just feels like home, you know? Even though this game feels really cheap, I can't really dislike a game that's trying to get children to just do fun activities like throw a party or cook. I'm gonna give this a Mary Kay out of a Mary Kate and Ashley. Do you ever feel that life just gets too overwhelming? That it all just gets a little too much, too hectic? Do you ever wish for a digital schedule and planner that you could carry around in your back pocket? No, this isn't a Notion sponsorship. It's Mary Kate and Ashley Pocket Planner. We're back to the Game Boy, because this next one on the list is probably one of the more interesting in terms of uniqueness. In the mid-2000s, Nintendo started to integrate a lot of lifestyle tools into their handheld consoles. The DS and DSi came equipped with a calendar, event planning, you could send pictures and mail to friends, and Mary Kate and Ashley Pocket Planner kind of feels like a precursor to all that. The difference is that most DS iterations were sleek with styluses and a touchscreen. God, this is really dirty. And the Game Boy Advance, which Pocket Planner was released on, well, it's kind of like a brick. The game starts off by asking for some personal details. A lot of details. What's your name? What's your postal code? What city are you from? What's your favorite color? What's your birthday? Who's your best friend? What high school did you enter? What's your phone number? I don't know. Pocket Planner comes with a variety of day-to-day twos that any young girl would need in her life. A stopwatch, a to-do list, a calendar that only goes up to 2028. What did they know? There was also a set of mini games that you could play because... you know, video games aren't all business. There was this really cute Tamagotchi ripoff with Clue the dog acting as the Tamagotchi. That was actually quite cute. There was a puzzle piece game, a shopping game, this card mini game puzzle, and of course, Fash Machine, which isn't a Republican tour bus. It's a slot machine. But my favorite part of Pocket Planner was this section just labeled Fun Stuff, which was just a bunch of random activities that were probably used to fill the time and recess at any playground. There was a fortune teller game where Ashley would act as an 8-ball and vaguely answer any question you gave her. A horoscope, of course, and a friend's rating test where you and your bestie would answer the same questions and the game would tell you how compatible of friends you were. I tried to answer this as 2 imaginary friends who were as incompatible as possible, and Yeah, the game just gives you it. The game just says you're a perfect match, no matter what. This game was, I don't know, I liked the idea. I'm just not really sure of the practicality of it. Like, would a preteen really pull this out and be like, all right, let's see what's on the agenda today? I don't think they would. I think they would use their Game Boy to play Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed like the rest of us. But like, what do I know? You know, I'm just a boy. If you had this game and you actually used it for practical reasons, please, I would love to know in the comments. I'm so interested if any of you out there actually had this. But for me, I'm gonna give it a Mary out of a Mary-Kate and Ashley. We're now entering into the new era of Olsen twin video games, an era I've dubbed the big kid era. As the Olsen twins grew older, so did their audience. Suddenly it wasn't all about playing detective and hosting dance parties. No, now it's all about boys. And with that jump into teenagehood comes new liberties, new freedoms, a newfound independence. And by God, there was nothing more liberating to a newly turned 14-year-old than hanging out at the mall. Alone without your parents, usually with a group of friends. Released on the PlayStation 1 in the year 2000, Magical Mystery Mall was the first game that I was actually excited to play. And my excitement only doubled when the game opened up with one of the most radical intros I've ever seen. I'm sold. This makes being a teenager in the 2000s look like the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, throw in being a secret agent, and I think this is what 6-year-old me thought being 15 was gonna be like. The game opens up to this really crappy PNG that looks like it was just taken by someone and they slapped the title on it. Like, I'm sorry, but that grayness can only be found at the local dying mall. The story opens up with MKA going to their local mall, where they noticed a brand new jewelry stand, and they go over to purchase one of those half and half friendship necklaces that were big in the 2000s. The owner then comes over and talks to them in a possibly very offensive
Good
accent.
day, girls. I see you found one of my most special pieces. Ugh, whatever.
And lets them know that the necklace is missing its gems, so they can purchase it for $5. As the girls walk away with their new necklace, the owner actually lets them know, oh hey, by the way, that necklace you have, because it's missing its gems, it's actually cursed. It's cursed, so just don't put the pieces together. Why the fuck did you sell it to two 13-year-olds? The twins, being 13 years old, don't listen to her and put the two pieces together, and then bam, the entire mall is frozen. Look what you did. Look what you did, jewelry stand lady. You did this. Now it's up to the twins to find the 5 missing gems to reverse the curse. And if they don't...
Without the gems, you're stuck in the mall forever, with no money to buy a thing.
So now we're off to explore the mall, and in this game, each store you go to is a mini game you have to play to win back the gem. And our first stop is at it's another Fash. It says Fash again. I can't work with this. I can't work in these conditions. In Fash, it's all about putting together the hottest new looks and then hitting the runway. And it's our job to take the best looking photos of these fits and send it to magazine execs so they can put it in their newest issue and pay us with this gem. And this game was fun. It's pretty much everything I want out of a Mary-Kate and Ashley runway modeling game. There was a really nice variety of fashion here. Each style had a bunch of different designs and colors you could choose from, so you could get reasonably creative with this. For Mary-Kate, I designed this fit, which I'm actually quite happy with. I think this looks great. And for Ashley, I think I was going for like a safari vibe. And then it's down the runway, and it's our job to capture the best photos. If I could just get the camera to go left, no, down. What is it doing? How the fuck do I get it to go? Okay, so I wasn't the best at the photo part, but the second time around, I nailed it, giving us our first gem. And that was the peak of Magical Mystery Mall. It's all downhill from here. Before each minigame, there's these cutscenes that play that kind of set up the scenario for how you're meant to win the gem back, with the stall owner giving you advice and tips on what you're meant to do. And in Catch a Wave, the twins have been spreading rumors around town that they've been getting buddy-buddy with the new lifeguards. The stall owner scorns the girls and tells them that they need to tell the truth about their non-existent relationship with the boys, or go up to them and take photos of them without the boys knowing. Yeah, so Catch a Wave is about stalking teenage boys. They're literally just hanging out at different locations, and you have to go send the twins in to awkwardly pose next to the boys and take a photo with them to make it look natural. At some point, the guys catch on and try to hide from you, but you chase them down like a pack of feral wolves. The cinema, a pottery class, the beach, there's no escape. Well, okay, except for the one time where the game glitched and one of the boys just disappeared. But apart from that, you can't get away from them. Eventually, we wore the boys down so much that they agreed to take a photo with us, and the photos were good enough that we won back a gem. And remember, boys, if you're ever being stalked by two 90s megastars who just won't leave you alone, just say snow. Snow, it's the name of the next minigame. Just say snow. And just say snow, you need to win 3 best of 3s to get the gem back. And by God, you'll need your luck, because you'll be taking on the big guns of snowboarding, like Jeff Rocket, Bridget Winters, Gadget Summers, and my personal favorite, Slash McCoy. Slash is the fastest in the game, but this is a game for children, so like, it's not like he could be that quick. Oh my God, he's so quick! You're meant to ski through these flags that give you a speed boost, but no matter what, I could not keep up with Slash. The speed boost just never lasts that long, and if you go even slightly off course, you come to a grinding halt, meaning you have to crawl to the next checkpoint to gain any momentum back. There's also a jump mechanic, but it only becomes relevant on the final level where you're meant to jump over these wooden boards on the ground. But when you jump, you can't control your turning, so you just land. Like I can't do anything about this. What's the point? Sometimes the game would boost me and I'd like run into a wall, but then it would turn me around and the game wouldn't know how to get me back on track, so I'd just be stuck in this endless loop going round and round and round and round and round. Eventually, I had to accept that I wasn't the high-flying snowboarder I thought I was, and had to take on someone at my own level, Jeff Rocket, who I beat pretty easily, giving us the next gem. I actually liked what they were going for with Just Say Snow. It could just be nostalgia since I played a lot of Cool Borders 3 for the PlayStation growing up with my sister, but I actually liked the addition of a snowboarding minigame. Music Nation, however, I fucking hated Music Nation. In this minigame, the twins are tasked with creating the next big music video, but you have to get the producers to like it to give you a gem, and the producers don't know what they want. To begin with, you get a choice of 2 locations, a school gym or Times Square. Feels like a bit of a jump, feels like maybe that's quite a there's no in between. The idea is you're meant to put together the best camera movements, the best choreography, and the best special effects. The issue, I have no idea how it works. Why is the special effects not going up? Why is the special effects bar not going up? Look at the screen, it looks like a fucking banned Pokemon episode. When you're picking the choreography, there's these little bars above each dance move, and I thought that these were indicators of how well the dance moves fit together. Like, oh, you know, all green is good and red is bad. But when I put together a dance that had all greens, I got a worse score for when I had a dance that was mostly greens and a single red. To get a good camera shot, you just need to focus on the twins and not linger on a shot for too long. That I understand. But the special effects, I don't have a clue, man. Sometimes the producers liked it, most times they hated it. And at this point, it was looking like I was a bit of an industry failure. To make matters worse, I went to leave the level to come back to it later, but clicked the wrong option in the menu and exited the game completely. Chat, I just exited the entire fucking game without saving. To save my chat the time and horror, I ended the stream and just replayed the entire game again offline. Do you understand what that does to a man? It was the second time around that I noticed these numbers in the bottom of the screen, and it turns out these are tickets that you can redeem to get more features on different mini games. I won a prize that lets you dance with the twins and then just spammed the effects, and then we had done it. We had created a music video to rival the likes of Take On Me and that one where Bjork kisses a cat and it turns into her husband. So now we're on to our last mini game, Lizzie's Lunch, where you're a roller skating waitress, which sounds like a dream job if you're 8 years old and you've never faced the soul-destroying reality of customer service. But don't worry, children, you're about to learn. All you have to do is bring food to customers who shout out their orders, and the game starts off really tame, but by the last few levels, oh my god, these people can't handle 3 seconds without getting their food.
Pretzel and a drink, please. Hot dog and a drink, please. Hey, where's my food? Hey, where's my food? Hey, where's my food? Hey, where's my food?
And after serving the same hot dog and soda combo for so long, my mind began to numb and my thoughts drifted. And suddenly the thought hit me. Who was I serving? Where were these teenage boys, these snowboarders, these customers? Where were they coming from? Last I saw, everyone was frozen solid. Why did I walk into stores and end up somewhere else? Were these portals to a different location? Or were the people in there trapped in these shops? When I gain the gem back and the portal closes, what happens to the people in them? Are we just cut off from each other, or are they lost to nothingness forever? Eventually you earn $150 and I stopped caring because we had done it. We had got our final gem. And just like that, the mall is back to normal. The portals are closed and everyone is free to go back to their shopping. The stall owner congratulates the girls on their success and then tries to sell them another necklace. The girls, smarter than the adults, say no and head off into the sunset to do their shopping. And oh my god, I forgot it ends in a freeze frame. So that was our time in Magical Mystery Mall. Sure, it was magical and a little mysterious, but was it good? Did I think Magical Mystery Mall would be a short, fun adventure game with MKA running around a mall, and then get slightly disappointed when I found out it's just a poorly covered minigame compilation? A little. But all of that is overlooking a really important factor of this game. It's really fucking funny.
I almost scared myself.
The tongue-in-cheek dialogue in this game is so funny, and for a game that's only an hour and a half, I thought it did a really good job of showing off the Olsen twins' personalities. And if you're a kid and you got this game and played it, that's probably all you really cared about, right? Like, maybe it wasn't as good of a game, but I enjoyed it more than Get a Clue, so I'm gonna say this one gets a Mary-Kate and out of a Mary-Kate and Ashley. Okay, I have to tell you guys a secret, but you have to promise not to laugh at me. I was a horse girl growing up. Well, technically, it was my sister who was the horse girl, but because she was so into horses, I grew up around horses. At one point, I even competed myself. If you want more proof, look, here's a photo of all my ribbons. And look, here's a photo of a trophy I won for being the most promising duo in my pony club. Do I have it? Do I have your approval yet? And because I grew up around horses, I also grew up around horse video games, most notably the Settle Club Willowbrook Stables, an open world horse riding game which was god awful, but did have fun parts, like you actually had to groom and gear up your horse before you rode it, and jumping could get insane. So me and my sister loved it. So when I saw Mary-Kate and Ashley Winner's Circle was pretty much the exact same game, I was pretty high on my horses. The game opens to a horse stable, which is the main menu. Here you have a multitude of options like game modes to earn points, the shop to spend points, the changing room to switch outfits which you purchase with those points, horse customization, horse grooming, and rider customization. I started with creating my rider and oh god, what is wrong with them? I'm sorry you had to see that. The character customizations are minimal. Like, there's 4 complexions and This is the darkest one. But we're not here for humans, we're here for horses, and that's where the game's customization really stands out. You can choose a multitude of patterns, main types, and colors, some of which sound insane. So everyone, meet our new best friend, Monty. Winner's Circle offers up 2 game modes. The first being Adventure Mode, and this has you exploring an entire island in an open world, and this mode is my favorite. When you spawn in, you're just met with these ethereal swells and foggy hills that you're just free to explore. The goal is to get 50 horseshoes, which you can find just by exploring the island, and honestly, this game mode was just really nice. The world was empty, like really empty, but that emptiness was peaceful. Just me, Monty, and a terrible render distance. I just wish there was more, like more secrets to stumble upon. I found this really cool abandoned stable and this well, and that was really awesome. But I wish there was more of those things around. But other than Adventure Mode, the main game mode in Winner's Circle is the 3-day event. Here you'll be taking on the 3 forms of competitive horse riding: dressage, show jumping, and cross country. Dressage was by far the easiest. All you need to do is match your movements and actions to the instructions on the screen. It also helps that one of the twins just tells you what's coming up next in case you couldn't figure it out by yourself.
Next gate is try.
Show jumping requires jumping through a course as quick as possible without knocking over any rails, which sounds easy enough, but in the later levels the game gives you these double jumps where your horse doesn't land quick enough to actually get over both of them. How am I meant to jump that? In cross country, you have to travel very long over fields and jump over obstacles along the way. This was very long and very empty. Do all 3 well and you win the event and move on to the next difficulty until you reach the pinnacle of horse riding, the Winner's Circle. And at this point, the game was really repetitive. None of the courses actually change as you go up the circle. They just slightly alter the layout or the direction you're meant to go in. Like, oh, instead of jumping this jump, you gotta jump that jump. Okay, the 3-day event was alright, a little clunky at times, but I did really enjoy riding around Horse Silent Hill for like an hour, so I'm gonna give this a Mary Kate out of a Mary Kate and Ashley. Alright, on to the next one. Mary Kate and Ashley Girls Night Out is a DDR style rhythm game. However, unlike normal DDR where usually I just embarrass myself and cry, I actually enjoyed this experience. I can honest to God say I would have played this as a kid and really enjoyed it. It was that fun. The game is very simple. You use your arrows to dance along to a song, and if you get a high enough rating, you unlock more songs and different outfit pieces. The game also had these buzzy psychedelic images, which made me feel like I'd eaten one of those dance party jellies. You can't let the crazy backgrounds distract you, however, because you need to focus on these bouncing arrows down here, which make the game a little bit harder, but incredibly stimulating. I was meant to play this game for 15 minutes, but I played it for almost an hour because I was so enthralled by the flashing lights and rhythmic arrows. There's 2 other game modes which are fun but not that fleshed out. Mix, which allows you to make a mixtape of songs you unlock. I called mine Butt. And Jam, which lets you remix MKA soundbites into the song like a DJ. And I had a lot of fun with this one. But sadly, the worst part of the game is the music. It's probably because I listened to the game through actual speakers and not a Game Boy Advance, but the music sounds like, how do I put this nicely? The music sounds like a cheese grater being pushed down my ear canal. Could you imagine if you went into a club and they were just playing? So Girls Night Out wasn't bad, but it had a couple of off notes. So because of that, it gets a Mary Kate out of a Mary Kate and Ashley. And now we've come to the pinnacle. The game that started it all, what piqued my interest in the series to begin with. The game I've been waiting for. It's finally time for us to play Mary Kate and Ashley Crush Course. Wait, meet the boys. Who are the boys? In the main menu of Crush Course, the game gives you 8 pairings of teenage boys, each one coming with their own personality, star signs, hobbies, whatever else you get with teenagers. You'll notice that in each pair, at least one of the boys' names starts with the letter B, Remember that. You'll need that for later. The game starts with, of course, picking an outfit for school, except this time, all the outfits are pre-made and just some variation of a t-shirt and jeans, which is really disappointing. I feel like having outfit customization is kind of the bare minimum for an Olsen twin game. I mean, that's literally their job now. The game then starts with the girls arriving at school where they notice their rival Courtney hanging out by their locker. They chase her away and our BFF Tyler gives us the 411.
You guys, I'm so glad you're here. This is terrible. The absolute worst.
1 minute, there was this note on your locker, and the next, well, Courtney was tearing it into pieces all the way down the hall. This was all I could salvage.
Did they only have time to do one take? From a piece of the torn out letter, the girls deduced that someone was asking Mary Kate to a beach party this Saturday, but all we know is whoever sent the letter, their name begins with B. You get it? You see what's happening? See that? That's called foreshadowing. It's now up to us to hunt down Courtney, find the other pieces of the letter, and figure out who this mysterious lover boy is. From there, you're free to explore the high school, and this is the part of the game that rocks. This is kind of what I've been waiting for the entire time, like a semi-open world Mary Kate and Ashley game where you have silly NPCs and do silly teenage things. Like, I think that's all the fun building blocks for a nice lighthearted kids game. The girls see Courtney getting onto the bus to go on a physics trip and follow her onto the bus before realizing Courtney gave them an old just a quick just nice sidestep, just duke him out. So now the girls are forced to go on a physics lesson where we get our second iconic Olsen. And our physics trip, well, there we're playing, it's mini golf. Mini golf. It's another mini game compilation, isn't it? I thought we had finally done it. I thought we finally had the Mary Kate and Ashley game that I had been hoping for. And now I'm actually having fun. No, this game, the mini golf is fun. What do you want from me? It's mini golf. It's mini golf. Who can hate mini golf? The worlds were interesting. The mini golf was quick. There was a British narrator who was telling you these fun science facts before every level.
Did you know that according to Einstein's E=mc² theory, it's actually possible to travel through time?
And on one course, you're playing on this giant pinball machine, and if you look at the top, you can see that the pinball is called Magical Mystery Pinball. I can't hate that. After our field trip, we arrive back at school, where the local nerd tells us he's collected a part of the note Courtney dropped in the bus. From here on out, the game is much the same. As you play mini games, you unlock different wings of the school, constantly chasing down Courtney and trying to get the notes back. Next mini game was a rhythm game, where you compete against Courtney for a place on the cheer squad. And if you lose it, Mary Kate looks like she's about to pass out or throw up, and I just thought it was really funny. For biology class, it's like marine biology, and you go to the beach to pick up litter and return turtles to the ocean. This minigame took so long, I started to question if the turtles were worth it, but it was in the end, because they included these guys, and I don't know what these are, but I freaking love these things. Our last class was journalism, where our teacher, Mr. White, has asked the twins to go and take the final photos for the school yearbook. In this game, you have to do 3 times twice, which is far too many if you're having to take mundane photos of stuff like a janitor, but sometimes it gives you really funny situations. Like there's this running storyline where a kid gets bullied into finishing the bully's homework, and then the bully gets caught, but the nerd still ends up in detention anyways. Or you have to take a photo of the driver ed teacher who drove into a classroom. Like that's funny stuff, I can't lie. But you have to take the photos exactly how the game wants you to. I was meant to get a photo of this girl struggling with a printer, but the game just did not like my photos. Too high? What do you mean too high? Oh, now they need to be facing the camera? Centered? What do you mean not centered? I can't get her any more centered. I tried high angles. I tried low angles. I tried standing on the other side of her where I'd constantly eat shit on the tiles because I was slipping on the paper she was printing before the game decided this was the best photo. Are you sure it's centered? This isn't the only minigame you repeat, and the second time you play it, they always make it harder. Like for history class, it's just mini golf again, but with spinning stone hedges. But no minigame was so unbearable that it made me want to marry myself until I got to the beach level. It turns out it's the school holding the beach party. for some reason. And they're looking for students to test out the new carnival equipment. And no one can do it better than MKA. This area has 3 mini games. The first game was a throwing game, which was pretty easy and pretty fun. But the second game was the seashell game. Each shell corresponds to a button on your controller, and you have to hit the button as soon as the shell opens up to collect treasure, without collecting bad objects like pirates. You're meant to collect enough treasure over 3 rounds to earn 1,500 points, but in these shells lay creatures forged from the deepest, darkest pits of the Mariana Trench. These stupid, ridiculous, white sharks. Hitting the shark takes away an entire 10 seconds on your game counter, which is incredibly frustrating when they look almost the exact same as the pearls which you're meant to collect, and I spend 25 minutes of my life on this one mini game because of these goddamn sharks. Oh, and the last game was basketball. I actually quite enjoyed this one. After this, Crush Course just kind of rehashes the same minigames. Come on guys, the developers can't work too hard now. And then you've done it. You've collected the final pieces of the note. And it turns out it was actually addressed to Mary-Kate and Ashley. Go figure. And the boys asking them out were Bo and Aaron. I don't know who that is. I think we met them once in the entire game, and it was just when I was running past them in the journalism minigame. As far as I can tell, this choice is completely randomized. There's no dating aspect in this game, and you don't really meet them throughout it. So I guess the idea is you're just meant to pick your favorite in the menu and then hope you get them. The twins enjoy their date with Bo and Aaron, and then Courtney gets her comeuppance by having to go on a date with the school nerd. And then the game ends on a freeze frame, but the developers forgot to freeze the character assets, so they just sat there blinking at each other, which is sort of how I felt once the game ended. I think why I'm disappointed in this game is because I think it had the most potential. I mean, picture it. An open-world Mary-Kate and Ashley game set in high school with a mystery to solve, finding out that it was plotted by your arch-nemesis, the school mean girl, and along the way you meet other students, teachers, larger-than-life characters in wacky Disney-style show shenanigans. Maybe you collect new outfits, maybe you have to learn about the boys and go on dates with them, and then those dates could be the mini games. I mean, for God's sakes, Dylan likes golf. Why wasn't he at the golf course? Yet I will sit here speaking blasphemy when this is the most fun I had with an Olsen twin game. The characters were quirky, the environment felt somewhat alive, and I guess the minigames weren't that bad if I was entertained for at least 3 hours. The Olsen twins feature the most they have throughout any video game, and once again, if you're a child playing this, that's probably why you played it. And I think because I had the most fun, I'm gonna have to give this one a Mary-Kate and Ashley out of a Mary-Kate and Ashley. Wow! Props! Claps all around. Oh my god, we have a winner! And if you think that's generous after all the critiques I gave it, that's fair. But I really did have the most fun with it. And also, it's kind of the peak of the franchise. Because if you think we're ending on a high, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I've got the drive for one last game. A License to Drive. Mary-Kate and Ashley Sweet 16 License to Drive isn't just a game with 3 titles, but was also a game that was released over 3 different consoles. I'm going to be playing the PlayStation 2 copy today, which is pretty much the same as the GameCube one, and not the Game Boy Advance version, because the Wikipedia page described that as not really a game, and I think I can skip that. In License to Drive, the twins have just turned 16 and earned their driver's license. To celebrate, MKA and 2 friends decide to hold a party and hold a competition among themselves to see who can bring the most friends. And boys, don't forget about the boys! And then into our Mustang GT convertibles we go, and it's time to start the game. Oh my god, it's a Mario Party clone. There's 4 characters you can choose to play as in this game. 2 of them are the Olsen twins, and then the other 2 I don't know who they are, but I chose to play as this character because she kind of looks like Alice from Twilight. And this is the game. This is it. You roll the dice, you drive around, land on a space. Sometimes the board gives you an event. Sometimes you buy items from a shop. You pick up friends, which are like stars in Mario Party, but worse. And the real objective is to earn points. And the only way to earn points is by playing mini games. A lot of the mini games in License to Drive are based around driving, as the name suggests, but it's not good driving. Like, there's this Frogger mini game where you have to cross an 8-lane highway, and if you hit a car, you have to reset. But none of this is defensive driving. There's no way they got their license merging like this. There's car hide and seek, car trivia, a game where you fight over which radio station is playing. And while some of these games are reasonably fun and creative for the theme, they suffer from the same issues the entire franchise has. They're janky, slow, and in worst cases, just bad reskins. I'm sure these games are probably a lot more fun if you actually play them with friends, but I don't have any friends. And did you think about my needs? And I don't know if I just got really unlucky when I played, but it felt like I was just playing the same mini games over and over again. Like, I just had played maybe 8 to 10 unique mini games in 3 hours. And yet, I kept playing. For 3 hours, I rolled dice, I picked up friends, I won mini games. And why? Because the soundtrack was really good. Song after song was banger after banger. Whoever put together the soundtrack for Mary-Kate and Ashley Sweet 16 License to Drive, you are an unrecognized artist of your time, the Van Gogh of licensed video games. But still, the 8 good songs on this soundtrack could only sustain me for so long. The hours passed, and somehow I was still only at lap 2, even though Mary-Kate was at lap 5 and I had only set the game options for 3 laps. I was growing weary, tired of replaying the same mini games over and over and over again, wondering when it would end. When suddenly, I was put out of my misery. Everything had gone black. The game had crashed. And I was free. I had done it. I had played every single Mary-Kate and Ashley game. We're counting the last one. I know I technically didn't finish the last one. We're counting it. Also, it gets a Mary-Kate out of a Mary-Kate and Ashley. And then, wow, that was it. After Mary-Kate and Ashley Sweet 16 License to Drive Runaway Vacation, after 3 years, the franchise just faded away without even a whimper. So what was it? What was the final nail in the coffin? Was License to Drive just so bad that it killed the Mary-Kate and Ashley game franchise? Well, yeah, kind of. It turns out if you release 9 clunky slapped-together video games in 3 years, people tend to lose interest. And while I'm sure these games were beloved by some of the kids who played them, they weren't really flying off the shelves. And as you'll see soon, Acclaim really needed these to fly. There was meant to be this mythical 10th game that was made, and it was going to be based on the Olsen twin spy cartoon, Mary-Kate and Ashley in action. But Acclaim were in so much financial stress that it just never got made. God, what could have been? For 2 years, Acclaim refused to make another Mary-Kate and Ashley video game, and in 2004, it all came crashing down as the Olsen twin economic bubble finally burst. The twins turned 18, taking full control of their production company, Jewel Star Entertainment, and quietly quit acting after they probably had enough Hollywood trauma to last a lifetime. And in an insane third act twist, in April of that year, Jewel Star Entertainment sued Acclaim for around $600,000 after Acclaim failed to pay out around $177,000 in royalties and refused to create any new MKA games with their IP. A letter was written by the Olsen twin lawyer that claimed Acclaim had taken the Mary-Kate and Ashley brand in video games, which had flourished, and has now run it into the ground. Brother, did we play the same games? Somehow, this wasn't Acclaim's only celebrity lawsuit, as a few years earlier, they were sued by famed BMX racer Dave Mirra for $20 million after they used his likeness to promote a game called BMX XXX, which had you playing as topless women on bikes. And in September of 2004, Acclaim closed their doors for the final time, ending the Mary-Kate and Ashley video game franchise for good. Or is it? In 2024, it was announced that Acclaim Entertainment and some of its IPs were being resurrected by a group of video game industry veterans and former NWA World Heavyweight Champion JEFF Jeff Jarrett. So maybe, just maybe, we'll be visiting magical mystery malls and solving crimes by dinner time in the near future. I mean, probably not. I don't think they're really interested in doing video games anymore. The lawsuit seemed like a pretty big deal. Thank you so much for watching this video. I don't have another one like this, but if you enjoyed, why not subscribe? Because I plan to do more in the future, or leave a comment letting me know what I can improve on for next time. This was definitely some of the most fun I've had making a video in a long time, and I can't wait to make more like these and be better at making more like these. Like sometimes when I was editing, sometimes I was like, oh my god, bro, you are harsh. If you played these games as a kid, please give me your stories about them down in the comments. Did you enjoy them? Which games did you have? Was your favorite Mary-Kate or Ashley? I love hearing stories about like random pieces of childhood like this. So if you did play these, please let me know down in the comments. And other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.